It's the Cable
All right, pack one, pick one. I think Bowmasters might be the highest win rate card here. I kind of want to take the Mox Diamond. And Wheel of Balance is what I want to do. I guess I'll grab Dak here. Maximus Diamond. Why not Luris? If you have that question every time I pass a Luris, you're just going to be very sad all the time. Chrome Mox action. So Mox Diamond and Chrome Mox are a little bit at odds, right? Like one wants you to pitch lands, the other one wants you to pitch spells. There are some decks that want to play both, and those tend to be balanced decks. So if my plan for the balance to wheel comes to fruition, could end up working out. I wonder if Daze is better. Kind of don't love it in a deck that's going to have like a pretty low land count. Oh, there's a Tameo. Tameo fucking rips. Let's grab it. Hey, here's some interesting cards. Swords, Displacer Kitten, LED. I'm gonna grab Swords. That is not one that I pass very often. Canyon could help with the Dax Splash. I'm not super confident in the Dax Splash. Could also grab Show and Tell or Jace on spec. A little Colonnade action, why not? Epiphany's interesting. Lightning Greaves could be good with Tinker if you got that later. Could be an Upheaval deck. So Chrome Mox and Mox Diamond don't actually get you to 6 mana super easy. And with Upheaval, you want more than 6 mana. You want like 10 mana plus. So for example, if you have 6 lands, if you're just playing a land every turn, then those 6 lands are 6 cards towards your Upheaval, right? But if you're using a Chrome Mox and a Mox Diamond, they're each 2 cards. So all of a sudden you need like a lot more cards to get up to 6, to get up to that Upheaval range. A little bummed about the balance, but we'll still get some cool things to work with here. Looks like artifacts might be open with those 2 coming back. Interesting. Usually people are like way more excited about Displacer Kitten than Balance. But every once in a while you see people like throwing Balance into like a creature-based deck and stuff. Interesting things. We definitely have a start that can use this Urza's Saga, so I'm going to grab it. A lot of good ones here, though. The Stoneforge Mystic, the Solitude, the Mox Opal, all of those could work out really well. Even the Jace. Ooh. I'm going to grab this 4th. We're already, like, thinking about splashing red for the Dak Fade. Hell yeah. Maybe I'll go even more red and a little control-y with this Flage. Just guy stuff. So as good as Teferi is, and how good Teferi is with Displacer Kitten, I like the Retrofitter Foundry with Urza's Saga more. I think it's a little bit more important to what I'm doing. I would not mind cutting the Kitten, but I don't want to cut the Saga ever, so that informs that decision. Unfortunate Talisman there. Maybe the Chromatic Star is interesting. So the Lava Spur Boots is good with the Urza Saga. I think I want this Steam Vents, though. I think we've got some, like, kind of wild color considerations here that I usually don't end up with my artifact decks. And so I want to support that a little bit. If we already had Academy, then the Expedition map would be totally reasonable. Gadgeteer synergizing with Retrofitter. Gadgeteer does not synergize with Retrofitter. Oh, you're talking about, like, just the cost reduction? Usually if I'm grabbing Gadgeteer, it's because I've got the 3 mana artifact that goes infinite with it. This deck doesn't even have that many artifacts. The Emery's a little tempting. Just like filling up the graveyard for Flage is interesting to me. Don't currently have any rebuyables except for the Star in terms of turning into a draw engine. I'm kind of tempted by the Vantage. I'm going to grab the Emery, but the Vantage was tempting. Yeah. So the Mox Opal didn't wheel. Which is totally fine. Because our backup plan of just like having a good Jeskai control deck is totally reasonable here. Yeah, we didn't wheel Mox Opal or Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, someone took Mox Opal but didn't want Gadgeteer. That's like really weird, right? Maybe there's just nothing for them, and they're like, well, maybe this turns out. Would still be a beautiful Academy deck. We snagged that one. Mox Sapphire, you say? Yeah, right. God, that Opal would have been gorgeous in this deck. Would have just been like a better Mox than the two that I currently have. Opal like really feeds on like other fast artifacts. So the more Moxen you have, the better Opal gets. I'm skeptical that whoever took it could have used it this well, but Karn wheeling would be nice, which means it's not going to happen here. What did I take over Opal? Something important. Urza Saga. Just way less likely to wheel. We'd also seen like Kappa Cannoneer and Mightstone and Weakstone go super late in the first pack. So it would not have been crazy for the Opal to come back. Interesting. I think I like that currency converter. I'm tempted by the Lorien Revealed. Which is a solid anti-flood card that also imprints to Chrome Mox. Or can imprint to Mox Diamond, right? Very versatile in that regard. Also puts a card in the graveyard for Flage. I feel like currency converter does so much to like make sure you just don't flood out and stuff. Usually impressed with that card. Also helps fill up the graveyard for Flage, right? Deck Fade and currency converter could just spit out tokens every turn. Just gonna grab this Sacred Foundry. A little Grim Monolith action, maybe. Makes the Displacer Kitten and the Kappa Cannoneer look a little bit better, and it's like good with the fourth, too. Yeah. So we do have Gadgeteer in regards to this Basalt Monolith. We also have Thopter Foundry in regards to the Sword of the Meek. I've seen some people scoop to that combo still. Emery could help us put it together. I think I'm just going to grab the Basalt Monolith. So Aether Spellbomb is very good with Emery. I don't know if I can justify taking it over Pyrogoyf, though. Pyrogoyf's just a really good card. 3 Fairy. We passed 3 Fairy in pack 2. Kind of a sexy little Tez, huh? Hey, the Karn did come back. Yeah, the awkward thing about Tez and Karn is they're non-artifacts, but they still don't imprint on Chrome Mox particularly well. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Entropy Engine, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 5 months there. Sword has a decent chance of wheeling. Sort of. Anytime there's only going to be 1 or 2 cards left in the pack, I don't think you should be thinking about potential wheels too hard. I don't think you should stretch your brain too hard for those chances. Could happen, absolutely. Is it something to like consider or bank on? I would say no. I would say that's kind of a waste of time. Just because the odds are so small. Even if nobody else wants it, at a certain point, you're going to be looking at a pack of dregs and you're just going to be grabbing something. Someone's like, oh, equipment, sure, whatever. But I'd certainly be happy if it came back. Yuffie for the mirror, or do I just want a Lutri? Lutri mostly combining with swords in this deck. Could copy fourth or Treasure Cruise, I suppose. Hey, we got the sword bank. Bonus score. The expedition map doesn't really have anything worth grabbing. I think we ended up with not enough imprintables for Chrome Mox. Or enough things that care about artifacts to run it despite that. Sometimes you got like Academy and Urza, and like any 0-mana artifact is insane. Even if it's like textless. So an easy way to make cuts here is to just like do that whole package. Is Thespians or is a Saga not a combo? So Thespian Saga typically taps for colorless. So it's got to be very good to put in my deck with a bunch of color requirements like Flage and Fourth and Blue and all that stuff. The chance to potentially copy an Urza Saga and like that you're going to have the time and the mana to do all of that and that your opponent's not already dead to the Urza Saga is not worth the opportunity cost of putting a colorless land in your deck for almost all of the cases, right? It's going to be very rare that that pans out for you. And the chance that drawing just like a colorless land doesn't work out for you is higher than that, in my opinion. You ever try to flashback a Flage? Red, red, white, white? Thespian Stage can get there, but it takes time. Clunkifies it. This is only 6-ish red, which is good for most of it. I would like to go up to 7 for the Flage. How much blue do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 8-ish. It's kind of bad, actually. At least the Saga fixes for blue, right? By getting the Sapphire out. Technically fixes for the other colors with the Diamond and the Chromatic Star, but it's not pleasant. 10 white. Let's go to 9 white and 7 red. Oh, I get another land. Let's play one more island. You thought the Gadgeteer combos with Grim 2? No. The Companion does. Combos with both. Gadgeteer only reduces the activation cost by 1, though. Could Saga out Staff on 2, and then just start activating Urza Saga on 3. Or could Plateau out Staff and play the Basalt Monolith on 3. Oh, let's fucking kill that. Sure. Interesting. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Spawn, these are $4.20. Let's see what Spawn wants to listen to. I recognize this album cover. Block. Yeah, I miss Welder too. Do I have my Halloween costume picked up for this year's stream? I don't think I dressed up for like the last like 3 Halloween streams. We should get a lot of value here, don't we? We have switched a few times, Wild Sizzle, and chat didn't notice. Fire Covenant. All right. Yeah, cycle that landscape. Opponent's only at 6. Not a lot of lives. I think I'm probably done in activating staff here. Maybe I should have even just forced for the win just there, huh? Now what? I want to sack the staff so I don't have to deal with the triggers anymore. Killedy wins. So they had mana dorks, which makes Chainsaw look interesting. I think I'm just gonna let it ride. You don't know about this treasure cruise? Well, maybe in one of these games my opponent will do something, and then I'll have a bunch of cards in my graveyard and I can treasure cruise. But if they just sit there watching me win, then it's gonna look pretty bad, yeah. If the Tez lands, I can't find Mox Sapphire. I did spawn, I did know that. Yeah, one of my main regrets on my playthrough was like ever taking the necktie off. Cause when I first got it, and I got it very late. Like I failed a bunch of checks to not get it early. So then I just like missed a chunk of the game with him. And then And then when I finally got it, I was like rotating through items to like make skill checks. So I think I heard the necktie say like 2 or 3 things and set up a plot piece that ended up never getting fulfilled because of that. Because of the item rotations. So I was pretty disappointed with the last third act of my run. Did Arena Cube end? I don't think so. I think they both end when the new set comes out on like Tuesday or whatever. Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it is. Do I want to cash in this Tez? I think so, yeah. Bye, Tez. Bigfoot Soldier's 16-month resub message is, you keep streaming, I'll keep subbing. That is a deal, Bigfoot Soldier. That's a deal and a half right there. I feel like I'm just supposed to Pyroglyph their face, huh? It's like, here, take 5. Have a Pyroglyph. That's quite the hot streak, Eric. Oh shit, what up? Hey Neelith, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 2 months. Why didn't I try to ult Tezzeret? I mean, you watched my Gadgeteer die in ruin. This is Vintage Cube. Things explode. Things explode, and if you've gotten some value, like because I cashed in the Tezzeret, I got this currency converter, which I would not have if I had not cashed in the Tezzeret. Here already in play. Casting it after the Gadgeteer gave me this clue, which I would also not have. Like, you're seeing the answers to your own question. Like, you watched it die in this, like, horrific bonfire. So, like, banking on trying to, like, use it to, like, trigger the Tez more or whatever. Like, it's not like they were sitting there, like, doing all this stuff with their mana. Like, they were sitting there with, like, 3 or 4 cards in hand. It's, like, all answers, right? It's either all lands or all answers. If it's all lands, it doesn't matter very much. If it's all answers, then you shouldn't just, like, bank around the Gadgeteer living. You should be like, okay, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play an artifact. I'm going to get my 1 trigger, and that's still value. Ooh. Suppose I do that. Very tempting to, like, discard Wrath here. And just have a 2/2 at the ready. Do I remember when Bonfire of the Damned was like $80? Yeah. I bought my bonfires at, like, the stone worst time, which was that Pro Tour. And then I don't think I ended up playing them. Just the literal worst. Opponent's playing black mana, so I'm just, like, exiling random creatures in my graveyard. In case they draw, like, a Necromancy. I'm not giving them options. You buy your Tarmogoyfs at $150 each. That is the high point for Tarmogoyfs for sure. No speak of Mining Fire on the Flage here. Oh, cute. That is a lot of damage, actually. Look at that sword value. I should just Wrath it anyway, right? Still value? Yeah, I still got that sword in play. iPod Odd with the 24 months saying 2. Yeah, 2 years. Fuck yeah. Appreciate you, iPod. I would like to point out that my opponent did some things that game, and we ended up rebuying Flage twice. Part of that was the Emery self-mill going on, too. You love Staff of the Storyteller? It's a sweet one. Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox. Oh, that's a pretty start. Imprinting Oko. All right. Tracker, sure. It's awkward, but I'm going to wins it. Wins the tracker. Grant them even further. There's just a solid chance that the tracker represents a lot of the gas in their hand after they just imprinted Oko on Chrome Mox. Questing Beast, sure. That's interesting. Very possible I'm supposed to run another Talisman to like make sure that I can Wrath next turn. This way requires me to draw another land. But it doesn't have to be a white land. Perfect. They could have a counter up now. They got this Underground Seam. They didn't seem like a counter deck a second ago, but... Please die, please die, please die, please die. No, don't tap things! No, damn it! Oh my god, they just straight up didn't have blue mana until just then. That's pretty bad for me. The Deathrite Shaman's really good against this Pyroglyph too. So the Saga spits out 3/3s. Oh, the Deathrite Shaman's just serving. The Riddler cometh. Yeah, I wonder if I was just supposed to slam Pyroglyph there. And the Quantum Riddler gets to smack me down to 2. 2's not very many lives. We don't have the life gain equipment for Saga. We do have Retrofitter, and that's a lot of mana, though, to block a Quantum Riddler every turn. Not a comfy spot. It's just barely large enough to block the Questing Beast, but not trade with it. We drop to 2. Thopter Foundry. I'm actually thinking about grabbing the Chromatic Star just because it's a good one to sack to Thopter Foundry and like maintain your card quantity. The Retrofitter's tempting. If you get Sapphire, you're not quite in a spot where you can play the Gadgeteer, then play the Thopter Foundry, and then still have mana to sack and block the Quantum. Opponent's going to draw 2 because of this Quantum Riddler. I wonder if I was supposed to crack the star on my turn in case I rip Swords, then just like Swords the Riddler immediately. Oh my. Resolves. Resolves. Alright, we just need to Sword of the Meek somehow. That doesn't quite work this turn, because we're not going to have the the colored mana post. Opponent does have a card in hand. Memory lapse. I don't think it is fine. What with the being at 3 life and everything. Foundry can indeed sack itself. This Quantum Ridley's drawn them so many fucking cards already. Doing its best Consecrated Sphinx impression. Terrifying attack, Looks like we're just a smidge short here, Oh, the Tameo flipped off of the draw, right? Yeah, we serve all at and then block both. We're only taking 3. Could serve with just 2 Human Knights to get the Monarchy back. And then you're like hoping to rip swords. I think there's a swords in here. Yargle, I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but that is just backseating, and it doesn't fucking work. That's not, there's no way to attack for 8. We have 6 power here. If we had 8 power, we'd have a win. Swords. Aw, oh, damn. Oddly close game, That Questing Beast early on did so much work. So much damage. And then, yeah, the Flyer was just hard for us to deal with. The Mana Leak lining up against the Wrath was pretty important. Interesting. So you could turn 1 Currency Converter and then Mox Diamond, and then immediately get a treasure out of the Mox Diamond, or out of the Currency Converter. I wonder if that's better than just like turn 1 Talisman, play the Currency Converter, and like have the whole hand dumped in play. I think I like that better. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Nap Wizard, thanks for the sub, thanks for the 24 months there, the 2 years. I think you are underestimating the amount of mana it takes to make an army of 4/4s row. The Thopters from the Thopter Foundry are 1 mana. Yeah, but Thopter Foundry has to sacrifice a non-token. So Retrofitter can't just make a 1/1 and then sacrifice that to the Thopter Foundry. There's a finite number of Thopters you can make with the artifacts that we had in play. And if you're sacrificing your mana rocks, then that's also less mana that you have to make your 4/4s for your 4/4 plan. Yeah, pretty awkward. Now we just like lose that sort of the mink. I was hoping the Basalt Monolith would let me overload this Winds. I can't just Wrath while they've got the Oko down. I need to like pressure it somehow. Glad I didn't slam the Winds into Mana Leak, of course. Interesting. The 1 and 2 is my previous record. So after this run, I'll update it with whatever this record is. I've been doing that with my leagues lately. Oh shit, what up? Hey Prebin, thanks for 45 months. Fair enough. Oh shit, what up? Hey Oblong Osprey, thanks for the sub, thanks for 48 months there. 4 years! Feeling old? Yeah, I feel you. Well, at least we have some pressure for this Oko, There's a Saga threatening to spit out 5/5s. Seems reasonable. Chain of Smog. I've been chained. I was trying to un-F6. Hello. So I could just answer an Oko. I think I'm better off getting my Urza Saga activations in, though. The Wave's a little vulnerable to, say, like another discard spell off the top. But the Saga's repping a lot of value, right? Like, we're not only making this token, but also getting a draw off this staff. I like attacking the Yoko rather than clearing the token and then serving at the Yoko. It's a little bit better against removal, I think. Like, you kill the 3/3, and then you attack and then kill your construct. Then they get to another turn with Oko. Yeah, right? Well, we ground down an Oko. Maybe a little easier for us than grinding down a questing beast, Wrath got to line up that game. Brutal pass no head. Brutal and wild. I'd like this matchup and all my other matchups a lot better if I had that balance in here, How's Tez filled this cube? It's pretty good. Would much rather have it than Tree Mage my deck, that's for sure. Well, so long as the opponent's hand isn't too explosive, there's some nice value in filtering and such here. Mox Diamond would be our best draw. Next turn I can run to the Thopter Foundry and activate the currency converter. Get some filtering going. I'll take the 0. No blue mana for the opponent yet. Almost makes me want to play the Tez, Maybe activating the converter is better than running out Thopter Foundry. Yeah, you could just, like, sack your Talisman to ult the Tez here, but then the Tarmogoyf gets buffed. And I don't think we're in that much of a rush, Opponent hasn't really been applying pressure and such. Well, we got some kind of pressure here. That satisfying grind. Yeah, just watching all our shit come together, Of course, this game we just had like way too much time. The opponent bricked on blue mana for so long. Let us set up our value engines. And the Tez pumps a Thopter, and then you got plenty of damage here. But even if it wasn't enough, you still have Flage coming back on the second main phase there. Have yet to put Lutri to hand. Haven't really found a spot where I just like didn't have things to do. And we're not running out the Tameo because we probably want to play that Wrath. I might actually put the Lutri to hand next turn. That's a little scary. We'll see where this goes. Oh, they didn't block first. They meant to. They meant to block and then tap. Let's click through it. Hey, we got ourselves a Tez. Be interesting to see what they do with this Mana Vault mana, The mom attacks, but can we simply attack them back? Nice to get the Tez down. Even if they answer my things, it's still helping me like produce mana, either untapping the Talisman or threatening to tutor up Mox Sapphire or whatever. Okie dokie. We're not tapping to equip a chainsaw, are we? Metamorph? Metamorph Guide? How bad is Wrath here? Kind of bad if they play a Haster. We're missing out on a Saga activation. I was just gifted a sandwich. What's this Saga supposed to grab, Maybe we're at a spot where Retrofitter is just good. Have we actually gotten Thopter combo together? I think I've just been sacrificing chromatic stars that I've tutored up. Good stuff, though. You're making a PB&J and honey sandwich? That's pretty good. Yeah, trading a Thopter token for their fucking recursive angel feels pretty good. Ugh, where do I want this emblem going? Yeah, we just have a bunch of activated abilities here between the Legion, the Retrofitter, the Thopter Foundry. I think just like having all my stuff untapped is pretty good. This is definitely a matchup for the Chainsaw, One more removal spell in. The Gadgeteer and Basalt Monolith have been my two worst cards. I will admit I have not cast Treasure Cruise yet, mostly because the games that I've filled up my graveyard, I've also found the Flage too. Oh, we have the Paragoyf here. I guess I'll cut it. I thought the T-Cruise could be something that'd be like kind of cool to copy with Lutri in a close game. We just haven't had any close games. That's not quite true, but you know what I mean. I haven't had a Lutri game. Zodiac Brave ate too much, and now you're big sleepy. Well done. You've never seen an ulted Tez before? Oh, I've ulted that thing a lot. It's like kind of trivial. I think it maybe is being underplayed in Modern right now because it's so easy to ult. Maybe it'll be one of those sort of cards that like waxes and wanes. I don't really want to bottom any of this. Mox Diamond off the top, letting me turn one staff. Well, Chainsaw would have been a fine answer. I feel like my odds of winning are pretty low with this uncontested Ragaman just clunking on in. Oh yeah, deal. Well, you got my planes there, which I wouldn't have minded, of course. So we can Flage the Ragavan, but then they just get Ragavan back. Is that okay? Should be leading on staff. Maybe I should just play this Gadgeteer. I think they're going to have plenty of answers to Gadgeteer is the issue. One of the many issues. Could be a spot where I get like one more mana source and I get to go like Tez, untap Talisman, run out Staff, and then Staff's a good blocker for Ragavan. Chainsaw goes Burr. The Chainsaw was exiled earlier. Not available right now. Awesome. I think that Soul Cauldron is in to help control Thopter combo. I can't remember if I flaged them last game. It is awkward against this hand of Flage Pyrogoyf, of course. Well, at least Gadgeteer got a little bit of value there. Could have been worse. Kind of need to find a Wrath, so I'm just plugging away with these clues here. Oh my god. 1 mana short for that one, Well, if I do manage to find one of my 2 sweepers, if I do manage to find one of them, the swords will be really good post-sweeper cleanup. Can we use Infinite Colorless? Oh, yeah. Both attack and Tez. I guess we just let Tez die, huh? Yeah, there's Retrofitter Foundry in here. There's a 4th. Yeah, taking the Staff and the Mox Diamond both seem tempting there. I can see why they took the Staff, though. Because it's like an engine for them now. So just rebuying Lutri and copying swords is kind of tempting, huh? Exile the Jackrabbit, exile the Sarah Paragon, have 3 blockers to their 6 attackers. I think I'm gonna crack a clue first. I think we've got time for that, Oh, then I'll have to shock myself for the Lutri. I don't want to do that. Still got some rabbits to deal with here, of course. The 303. What's the 303 sig? This is the most I've seen the Gadgeteer do in a while. Oh, the synthesizer, sure. Oh, I meant to kill a rabbit. Well, whatever. How'd I get the staff back? Oh, the Yuffie died. Nice. Well, at least I have a Flage for that, Trying to figure out what to sack to this Legion Extruder. I could just crack my clue. I think we got this one kind of wrapped up, He said self-jinxingly. A plunder would have been terrifying, though, if I hadn't had a bullet in reserve there. Fourth would be enough to kill me here, because they have so much mana. Yeah, it'd be like an attack for 16 plus the rabbits. But what are the odds of that, right? Pretty much 0. How goes it? Pretty well, 13th Fox. Pretty well. Hell yeah. Well, we can get a trophy on the old board, huh? A little trophy in there.